welcome to my first video. If you don't know me, my name is Tori and I really love all things skincare, beauty, so that's really what this channel is going to be dedicated to. I will have some other types of content thrown in there, but seeing as that's really what I invest my time and money into, that's really what I want to share with you guys. So today for my first video, I thought I would keep it pretty simple and just show you what I do on an everyday basis, whether it's I'm just going to work, going out to the grocery store, just keeping it pretty simple. I have a lot of fun new products that I've been testing out that I'm excited to share with you guys. Some from Tower 28, some from Glossier. So if you guys would like, go ahead and subscribe down below and let's get into the video. Alright, now that I have you guys pulled in, I'm going to go ahead and start with kind of explaining my skin type. So I have pretty dry skin. A lot of the products that I'm going to be using are geared towards dry skin. I also live in Arizona, where it's a dry climate, so on top of my naturally dry skin, I have dehydrated skin. I do as much as I can to combat that with the skincare products that I use, which will come in another video, but also the products that I use on an everyday basis. I really love hydrating products. I love cream products. I feel like they sit well on my skin. They don't feel heavy. They also don't clink to dry patches that I may have. So that is kind of like how I start the process of thinking of what I'm going to wear every day, is really just deciding how dry my skin is that day. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the Glossier Future Dew. This is newer to my collection. They recommend that you use 1 to 2 pumps. I do the full tube, baby. I really love just hydrating my skin, and it's such a beautiful product. So it just adds like a beautiful texture to my skin. If you have like semi-oily skin, I think you would like this. If you have extremely oily skin, I would kind of steer clear of it. I'm then gonna go ahead and just put on a lip mask. I use this throughout my entire day. It's the Laneige sleeping mask. I really like to start base first, really before I do anything else. So today I'm gonna be using the Nude Sticks Tinted Cover. I really love this stuff. I wish there was a little more product in it. Also, I use shade, I think it's Nude 3, and it's sold out everywhere and I'm starting to run low. And I typically will buy like a foundation that I really love, something like this, like tinted moisturizers, once I'm like halfway through, because I go through them so quickly. But I can't right now, and I can't find it anywhere. I've tracked Revolve, I've tracked the Nude Sticks website, Sephora, Ulta, everywhere is sold out of this shade, and it really is like the perfect match for me. It blends so beautifully into my skin. It's kind of like a second skin. This is my favorite brush in the entire world. I own a million of these. They feel like such good quality and they work so well with cream and liquid products, which is typically what I use. So for my base, this is my go-to brush. This is the e.l.f. Stipple brush. I believe it's $3. Next, we're going to go in with a little bit of concealer. The amount of concealer varies by day. Since this is an everyday look, I kind of just base it off of how my skin is feeling and looking. If I have any tiny little breakouts, I'll go ahead and like cover those up. But for the most part, I really just focus it under my eye. I really love one concealer. The Sephora VIB sale recently happened, which I placed my order the last day of the sale, and I don't think it's gonna get here until next week, which I'll finally do a video on that. That's actually the first video I wanted to start with. But I ordered some other concealers because I've been using this concealer for so long. I just love it. It's so beautiful, and it's a tried and true classic. It's the NARS Creamy Radiant Concealer. I use Cafe a lot, I believe. I'm probably saying that terribly wrong. I don't speak French. But I just take a little bit and I kind of run that under my eye. I'll also, sometimes I like to go like right here. I can get quite a bit of redness here, so I'll just take whatever excess I have and run that under my natural contour of my face, which also helps when I do contour. I do a little bit of cream contouring. It kind of helps keep that like a nice chiseled line. So my favorite sponge is the Ego Tools sponge. I love like this beveled, like flat little edge. I love the slope of it. I love how big the bottom gets. I feel like it's so perfect for so many looks. I love the texture of it. It doesn't absorb too much of my product, which I feel like other beauty sponges do, and it's so soft. I like a softer sponge. I don't like a harder sponge. So I'm going to take that flat edge. I find it quite lovely for under the eye, and I'm going to buff that in. I don't actually go all the way up because I typically put eyeshadow there, and I like that natural shadow like right here to work with my eyeshadow. Now that I've concealed, I like to do a little bit of contouring and bronzing. As far as contouring, I don't really go out of my way to like change my face shape. But what I will do is put a little here, depending on how I'm feeling about my nose that day, a little on my nose, and that's kind of it on like a day-to-day basis. For that, I really love the KKW contour stick. I use the shade Light, so there's Light 1 and Light 2 on the dual end, and I'll take a little combination of both. So I will just follow. I naturally see, like, that's just my skin. I naturally have kind of defined cheeks, and I just kind of like to emphasize that, so I will go in and just follow that hollow, and I'm taking Light 2 for that. And then on my nose, I learned this trick from Victoria Beckham. I like to take a little bit of the lighter contour, and I like to create like a little V, and it makes you almost look, sorry if it's going in and out. I like to create a little V, and it almost makes me feel like Isabelle. Is that her name from Animal Crossing? And then I will take the smallest amount here from the bridge of my nose as well, just to kind of add a little definition, and that's all the contouring I will be doing. Alright, now is one of my favorite products that I've been testing out the past couple weeks. It's from Tower 28. They just released these. These are the Bronzinos, and I have the shade West Coast. There's also Best Coast. So it's this lovely, lovely cream bronzer. It has a beautiful sheen to it. I don't feel the need to add highlight after I use this. It's just so glowy and so dewy and perfect and lovely and just chef's kiss. So I am gonna go in with another one of these. I'm telling you, I have a million of these on hand. When you use cream products, you'll find like tools that you'll love to use with those. You can also use your fingers. I find that works quite well. But this is just tried and true and beautiful. So I'm gonna just pop it into there and stipple it on and get it kind of coated on my bristles, and then I'm gonna work it into my skin and just really buff it in, which is gonna look, it's gonna look crazy, guys. Cream products always look crazy when you first put them on. The more you work it into the skin, the lovelier it gets. So same thing with the cream contour that I did. I work it into the skin first with that brush, and then I really, really just tap and push it into that foundation, and I get everything kind of melted together. So now we have like a super, super lovely warmed up base, and next is my favorite part of any makeup look. Blush. Tower 28 released their blushes. I originally was only gonna pick up Golden Hour, which is like this beautiful orange shade, but these two baddies called my name as well, so I have all three. There's Happy Hour, Magic Hour, and then Golden Hour. I will be using Golden Hour, like I said, that kind of terracotta, burnt red, brown, orangey look is just, it's where my heart lies. I feel like it looks good with anything I wear. However, I do my hair. I also got highlights in my hair recently. I'm trying to go lighter. I've had black hair for like 2 years now. So I recently got some highlights in, so I'm starting the process of going lighter, and I just feel like this complements it so well. So you can take the stipple brush, but for these specifically, I just take my finger and work it into the product. These are extremely pigmented, especially for cream products. They don't, they sheer out enough, but they are quite emollient and they have a lot of payoff. I typically like a sheer product, but these are just such a beautiful formula and they do work quite lovely with other products. So, I mean, already you can see, and what the amount that is on this side is a little heavy, so I'm gonna kind of transfer some here. Okay, so I take my sponge and I just start that process of working it in. Okay, this next part is going to be super fun. So I naturally have freckles right here on the bridge of my nose, and a little bit they kind of extend here. They definitely get brighter in the summer months, but I've been spending a little too much time inside that they're not peeking through the way they normally do in the summer. So I typically will use Freck to just enhance my natural freckles, but for the first time ever, I bought something off of a Facebook ad. Their marketing is so great. The photos for this ad campaign are beautiful and they just sucked me right in. So this is the faux freckles and it's from Pseudo Labs. I believe that's how you pronounce it. You get so much product, which Freck I get very little, but it does last a long time, so I'm not really complaining. I still love Freck. But this is a great little handy dandy tool. So it comes in like a little mascara wand and a little toothpick. I have the product loaded up on the brush, and then you just like press through with the pick into the bristles, and it's almost creates like this perfect splatter effect of freckles on your face. And they wipe away quite easily when they're still wet. Once they set, they're there all day. So go ahead and show you close up that they just look so natural, so real. You can really just work them into the skin. They last all day and I really like it versus going out in the sun. All right, now that I have you guys zoomed in to check out these lovely little freckles, I'll just keep you here so we can do my brows. I have very thick brows. I have very coarse brows. I have thick hair in general. But back to the brows. I've been using two products recently. The Patrick Cha Shaping Wax and the Glossier Boy Brow. I used to use the MAC Shape-In shade, but Katie Jane Hughes has convinced me with all of her glory that this is the brow marker to end all brow markers. So I recently picked it up and I've been loving it. It's quite lovely and does the job. Now, the Patrick Cha brow wax. I either typically use just soap, just a bar of soap, so I do the soap brows, or I will use Benefit has like a gel and it works quite nice, but I find that it does make my brows a little crunchy. So I typically just go for soap. So when I saw that he was coming out with this guy, it kind of acts in the place of like soap brows, but has a waxy texture, so it kind of keeps them a little bit softer looking. I was all for it. The product itself is nice. I will say I don't like this component. I think it's beautiful. However, opening it is quite a struggle. Also, I don't understand why he put a mirror, which is like the most annoying thing to complain about. However, you have to spray your setting spray, Fix Plus, what have you, in here to kind of activate the product. Otherwise it's dry, like nothing will come up. When you spray, it also gets on the mirror. So I've actually kept the little film, that way whenever this product is empty, I can just use it as a little to-go mirror. So I've kept that plastic film on it. That way, that's what gets dirty and not my mirror, because I don't feel like cleaning it every time. So once this product is empty, I will use it as like a little to-go mirror because it's quite lovely. However, I don't like having to open it, and I don't know, I just feel like the component could have been a little different. I start by just taking a clean little spoolie and I brush these bad boys, into place. This is the bad sister, she's not as nice. This is the bad sister, she's not as nice as this sister. This sister is quite lovely and will say hello to you. This one tries to bite your head off and she's not that good, okay? This is an A. This is maybe a B minus C. And then what I will do is I will take my little brow flick and I will go in the sparse areas lightly and just create some hairs. I kind of focus actually more on my like the top of my brow because my brows tend to go down and the way that they grow in makes right here look just quite sparse, which I don't like. So I just kind of run that through, create a beautifully shaped eyebrow. Okay, so our eyebrows are looking, they're getting there, right? Then I take the Patrick Ta brow shaping wax. You just go ahead and spray it with some Fix Plus, whatever setting spray you have, and this is what I'm talking about, it just gets everywhere. So that's literally, it's such a minor complaint, but it's the only one. So I've seen him do it. You just take your spoolie and you run it through the product. You kind of coat your spoolie with it. And I have another one on hand in case I go a little overboard. So you just run your product through that. He likes to completely laminate his brows. I don't like that look on my face shape. I think it's a beautiful look, but it just, since I already have such thick brows, it really overpowers my whole look. And I really don't like that tail end that I created. So a little trick that I like to do is I will just take my beauty blender and I will work it away. And it kind of softens up that tail and it doesn't actually affect my base. And then I take that clean spoolie and you can feel how much thicker your brows get because of the wax. And I kind of place them where I think they look best. Kind of like I do like pushed up, just the front end. And then it sets like this and it does stay all day, which is quite nice. So I'm going to do that on the other side. Okay, now that we have these lovely caterpillars on our face, we will move on to our eyes. So I like to start my eye look before I do anything. I like to do a little curly. And I do this twice. I do it before I start anything, and I also do it after. Like after I do my eyeshadow, before I put on mascara. So it just kind of, I feel like it helps. It's weird as I've gotten a little bit older. I'm 25 now. I feel like at like 23, my eyelashes changed on me, which is just so weird. They used to just stick straight up like this with no help, and if I curled them they would like touch my eyebrows, but as I've gotten older they've kind of started to not hold the curl as well, which is a little sad. We're sticking in the realm of cream products, which I really love. So I'm going to be using the this little product from Stila. It's the Suede shade, I believe is what they're called, and this one is the shade Nude Awakening, and it's this really lovely eyeshadow base that I've kind of fallen in love with, and I just plop that all over my eye, and I will take a clean blending brush and I will just buff it in. And this is what I use instead of like a primer. I find that it works well. It tends to match my skin tone, at least this shade does, whether I'm a little bit tan or not, because we did bronze up the skin, so it kind of mimics having a natural tan, and it just gets rid of any like blue or redness, which is, I don't mind it on the rest of my face. However, when I am doing my eyes, I kind of like to conceal that. So I'm gonna do that on both eyes. New product to my little makeup family is the Glossier Sky Wash. I only picked up one shade, which I'm kind of upset about. I think I'm gonna go back and order some more. And I got, you know it, Terra. It matches my everyday aesthetic. How I like to present myself to the world is like a nice little burnt orange. That's my goal in life. It is quite a sheer product. I feel like from the videos and reviews I've seen, I think this is the most pigmented of all of them, but you can sheer it out, and it really just is like great for every day. So I just take a little bit and I focus it towards the center of the eye. You can either use your finger, but I'm gonna opt for, I just smudged it all over my hand. I'm gonna opt for the same brush that I blended in that Stila shadow. And I'm gonna start by pushing it out, picking up a little product from that center and bringing it back. Have this beautiful just sheer wash of color. I kind of like, you may not like this about this product, but I kind of like that it migrates down for some reason, and it almost like adds, like, it looks like I've already lined my eyes, which it's a funky thing about this product, but I actually quite like it. And I'm gonna go in with the Soft Glam palette from Anastasia. Go in the shade Sienna on just a little blending brush, and I'm gonna deepen that crease with this shade. This is such a nice way just to add a little bit more color onto your lids because that product is so sheer. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit of Cypress Umber and a little bit of Mulberry onto a pencil brush. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tightly line instead of using like an actual eyeliner. Just the bottom, just to add the slightest bit of definition. Kind of like this just natural little airy look. So then we're gonna go back in with our trusty dusty eye curler and do a second hump of that. So with that same little eye pencil, I'm gonna take a little bit of the Sky Wash and I'm gonna run it under my eye. my under eye waterline. So I'm going to take it on that pencil brush. So the beauty of working with cream versus just powder products as far as eyeshadow goes, you have a little bit more time to kind of manipulate it. Like I feel like a shadow, you kind of have to like really work it to get it to where you want. But whereas a liquid or a cream shadow, you can also use your finger and really kind of get that desired effect that you want, which it's quite nice for when you're on the go. I'm going to take the Glossier Lash Slick, and I like this one on my bottom lashes. It has these little fibers in it which kind of cling to the bottom lashes. It also doesn't smear, so I don't end up like with a black shadow at the end of the day. It stays in place and looks just nice and natural. I know this is not a new product by any means, but I've recently just started using it. It's the CoverGirl Clump Crusher Extension Mascara. This stuff separates your lashes so beautifully. I typically go for volume, but I have been liking the look of just like lengthened lashes. I don't really wear falsies. It's just a personal preference, plus I have very sensitive eyes, and the glue, no matter which one I use, an hour or so and my eyes are just bloodshot red because they're so irritated. So mascara is my best friend. So I'm going to just start off with the KKW Beauty Liner in Nude 1. Don't ever do a look without lip liner. Some days I will just wear lip liner and lip gloss and no other makeup on my face. I'm a whore for lip liner and blush. So once your lips are nice and lined and they're looking so juicy, you can take it either just a lip gloss or you can use a lipstick. I'm gonna go in with the Sheer Wash of Color from the Glossier Generation G lipstick, and this shade is in Cake. Yeah, that's super pretty. So keeping with that monochromatic orange theme. And then Tower 28 is killing it, guys. I have a whole video planned for like the future of makeup, and I feel like a lot of the products I'm talking about in that video are going to be Tower 28 products. Take the shade Fire, keeping in that orange vein. Just, ooh, it's so juicy, and that's what we want our lips to look like. And I like the shape. I like that it's flat on the sides. I am the type of person where I don't like too much product on my lip, so I will wipe away any excess. And we just have these beautiful juicy lips. Alright guys, before we get the satisfaction of unclipping our hair, I like to set my face. I don't set for longevity, for an everyday makeup look. These products tend to wear really well on my dry skin, so if you need to, you can exchange where you would like with powder products, but my skin can kind of withstand this without, you know, setting it with powder. These products are going to last me all day, so if you have dry skin or dehydrated skin, I think you would like all of these products, but I also like to add a little extra glow, so I'm going to take Watermelon Glow Ultra Fine Mist from Glow Recipe. This is such a lovely, lovely, lovely product. I say everything is lovely, but these are all my favorite products that I use on a daily basis, so that is why. But the mister The mist on this guy is so fine, and it graces your face. It tastes so yummy. It smells so yummy, and it really does add like an extra glow to your face. And I don't find the need to, like with a lot of other setting sprays, I have to kind of like fan my face. Because it's so fine, it just like falls beautifully on your face and you don't really have to do much. But yeah, this is my favorite look, so we're gonna finish it off by getting back to our normal looks with our hair down. So if you guys have any questions, ask me below. I will link my Instagram as well in case you want to follow me on there. I don't post a whole lot on there. I think I'm going to try and get a little bit better. And I hope to post 2 videos a week. We'll see how it goes, you know. I'm just starting out, and I'll kind of find my footing and get on a schedule. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. I look forward to creating anything that you guys want to see in the future. So if you do have ideas or recommendations, go ahead and list that down below. Subscribe, like, and thanks so much, guys. I will see you in my next one.